everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video finally not about me. So we have my friends here who are all diagnosed with spinal muscular atrophy. Spinal muscular atrophy is basically a neuromuscular condition that causes your genes not to produce a certain type of protein or gene that helps generate muscles. So with spinal muscular atrophy, when you are missing that gene, that SMA1, SMA2, SMA3, and SMA4 gene, if you are missing any of those type of genes or something mutates in that gene genetic structure, you are going to have issues with producing the correct muscle and muscle throughout your life. So basically you have the muscles that you have starting out as a newborn, and as your body grows, those muscles atrophy, hence the atrophy in the word or in the diagnosis. Basically your muscles atrophy, you get weaker over time because your newborn muscles can't sustain like a 10-year-old's body or whatever age you are. It can't sustain it. But thankfully, there are medications that can help prevent more atrophying and more muscle weakness and stop the progression of SMA. There is Spinraza, which is a liquid injection injected into the spine or nerves in the spine. So like you'll go into a standard hospital, wherever you go that serves that treatment. You'll go into an operating room, you'll normally be numbed in that area, and they'll just stick a needle and make their way through the injection through the body, and it costs like $100,000 per dose. Then there is risdiplam, which is a liquid oral medication that you can take, which is the new med or medicine that you can take to stop / kind of control the muscle that you are losing. But these are my friends that both got diagnosed August 2nd of 2023. So this is their 1-year anniversary with spinal muscular atrophy, and we're going to kind of go through all of what they struggle with, what their struggles are, and just how they got diagnosed essentially. And we're going to kind of go through their body percentage if they remember, but if they don't, we're just going to skip that question. So, Hallie,
hello.
You are how old?
I am 73 years old.
Hallie is 73 years old and has spinal muscular atrophy type 2. She was formerly once able-bodied until what happened? Well, if you can remember.
It's over a year ago, so
bear with us.
I was 2 years, we go like 12 years a year, but I was in my 60s at the time, and basically over time, as I was going through my missions and my filming and the work I do, I was slowly getting more and more tired as the time went on. Like, I could easily do a set from like a couple hours, and then it would deduct a couple hours every month. And I started noticing that my walking and the mobility in my hands and arms and how much I could hold up my head was getting very limited at the time. And now I just kind of go with my strength, the 9% I have.
So our body in total is at about a 9% strength. And to break it down, in toy world, you have about 140% in your legs, 20% in your arms in total, 20% in your chest, and 20% in your heads. For me, example, I am a spinal cord injury sufferer. I have a C1, C2 complete shattered SCI, and I only have 15% body strength. And you're thinking, how am I bigger than Hallie? Well, number one, my head is only 15, but the rest of my body is nothing. So if let's say you had 5 head and 5 arms, you are a 10. So somebody could easily comparably be a 15, yet have a lot more movement than me. They could have full hand function because they have the 15 in that arm. You never know what someone is going through just because of the percent of their body strength. Anywho, continue.
Thank you. My arms are about a 4% strength, so very, very weak. And my head is a 5%, so that makes my body total 9%. I did need chest straps about a couple months into diagnosis, this year of 2024. About like 2 months ago, I don't know. Basically had straps. I have straps that work in all sorts of ways to help
keep your chest up
and to make holding up my core that is none better. There we go. I got diagnosed with SMA. on August 2nd,
Woo.
2023. So, there we go.
My boyfriend, Stuffy,
Hello.
is also, he is 72?
Yep.
Yeah, 72 years old, living with spinal muscular atrophy type 2. Tell us your diagnosis and story.
Okay. So, basically, I was struggling with eating and strength. Hallie said and mentioned earlier. I was struggling with a lot of walking right before my diagnosis. I was actually in a power chair probably in July of 2023, and then I got diagnosed August 2nd, 2023. It's been over a year now, and I sadly went into a coma, and I woke up November 25th, 2023. So I was in a 3-month-long coma, almost 4-month-long coma. I didn't get my speech back until January 12th of 2024, so it's been like about 6 months with that, or however long, almost 7 months, I don't know. It's been a while, but I just basically noticed weakness way over time, and there was a lot of pain, and not a lot of pain, thankfully, but I just learned how to get through it. Went in a coma for 4 months, almost 4 months. Took multiple months to regain my speech, and I've been in a power chair, and I've been doing great. My body strength, sorry.
You're fine.
My body strength, my core is none, my legs are none, my arms are about a 10, and my head is a 10, so my full body strength is a 20% bigger than my boyfriend's.
About 5.
Yep.
But that's just my head. Emmy.
Hi, I was diagnosed with SMA on August 2nd, 2023, so it's coming up on my 1-year anniversary. How I noticed these symptoms and signs was about almost 2 months, or one month and a half before my diagnosis. I was in a wheelchair because of back pain.
If you don't mind, can you tell us the type of SMA and your age?
Yes, I am 84 years old.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And SMA type 3. The rest of them have SMA
Lucky.
type 2. So I started noticing a lot of pain in my legs and in my back. That was from nerve damage and stuff on my back. Way different than SMA.
Yep.
And then I started noticing like gripping issues with my hands over time, and a little bit of head weakness. And that wasn't good. But when I had SMA, I was still walking. I was in a manual chair over a year now.
Yeah.
But I was in a manual chair from June 17th all the way to before my spinal cord injury. And I could walk and I could get up, but I had a hard time standing and balancing a lot.
And the only reason why Emmy cannot move from the neck down is because of a completely different reason, because of a completely shattered spinal cord. So that's the only reason why she can't move. If she continued having her diagnosis and didn't have spinal cord injury, she would probably have kind of normal arm function.
I'd have my whole core and maybe like 15% arms and 20 head. Well, like maybe 18 head, I don't know.
And some percent of your legs.
I'll be really, really strong. That's basic moral of the story.
Lammy, can you tell us your age and diagnosis?
I am 73 years old, and my SMA, diagnosis is SMA type 2. And how I learned that I work as a nurse person for babies.
Like a nursery.
I'm a nursery person, I guess. I take care of babies. I feed them and stuff. Take care of NICU babies and stuff like that. Or premature babies. And I started noticing I could handle their equipment a little less. And I just noticed, like the rest of us, that we were getting weaker and we were feeling way more tired, losing weight. And it wasn't a good look at all. It wasn't fun. So basically my strength now is a 5% arm and 5% head. So I'm only 10% body. And Emmy, with her diagnosis, she didn't clarify, which is fine. She would have her full core. She would have 18 arms and like 20 head and like really, really weak in legs. But all I know is that she would probably maybe be over 60% in strength. Maybe 80 or 90. She'd be really strong. Sadly, she's I have 10% body strength, and I've been doing good. I have chest straps, and I got my new power chair. I've always been having an old one, but I got my new power chair July 6, 2024, so 11 months after diagnosis, to get this really cool equipped power chair with chest straps and everything. So I've been having my chest straps for like 20, 30 some days. I don't know. But it's been a while, but we're doing good. And I had a power chair from the starting of my diagnosis, so for over a year.
Now another question for y'all. If you had the ability to walk, would you take that ability?
Start for you, answering for everybody here. I don't think so for any of us, because we have spent possible days and hours and months trying to modify these wheelchairs to the best of us, like our head straps or certain chest straps that we need, or the percents of the joysticks and the buckles and the seats and the cushions. That takes such a long time, and me and my crew members have spent forever trying to get the new wheelchairs on the right parts, and it is so confusing. And we also built a life for over a year around and learning how to adapt from not walking or having limited mobility from the start. And I think when something bad happens to you, or when you get diagnosed with something and you live with it for over a year, you learn to adapt to the ways that what God has given you, and you eventually learn to live with it, and you eventually love what you have, in a sense, and you eventually know it has become you know. You have that ability, you have that mobility, and you learn to live with it over time. So I think all of us would choose maybe not to walk again, because we've learned to adapt our ways. We are very happy as it is, and I feel like our mental health has gotten a little bit better over the course of months. Maybe not, but for me and everybody else, I think we would just choose to stick where we are for right now.
For me, probably back then I would have said, give me the ability to walk. I'll do anything I can, because I was a wrestler back then. For those of you who don't know my past, I was a wrestler back then before I had my spinal cord injury back on October 24th of 2023. It's been 9 months now. So I figured I'd just say that I probably would wish for the ability to walk again, because wrestling was all my career. I was built around that physique and, living, eating healthy and doing all the things I need. But now when I just accepted my disability and knowing what it has brought me and knowing that I can be more happy. I mean, obviously I was happy living the life I was back then, but I'm also happy now. So I wouldn't really change it, because it has made me perceive on what my friends feel, because one of my friends, Doc, who is an SCI on the C3, C4, C5, T1, who is a SCI, she would go through all this pain, and I would never understand her struggles, and I wouldn't be mean to her, obviously, no, but it would just be harder to perceive those struggles in a person. But it's never, I was part of the disability community, because, advocacy and stuff. I was never part of the disability community as a whole, because I would advocate for it, but I would never understand what they were going through. So now that I have finally understood what they're going through, I just say I wouldn't really want the ability to walk, because the disability community is such a great community that, we're building lives around each other, and we're getting to know each other. But thank you guys so much for watching their SMA 1-year anniversary video. Hope you guys have learned a little bit more about spinal muscular atrophy and their diagnosis. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.